Hello, first off I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and today I'll be doing a brow tutorial. My eyebrows have come to the point where they're a little overgrown, and I'm going to show you what products I use, techniques I use, and the finished effect of plucking them and shaping them and then filling them into your desired effect. I will be doing what I like to do and what I usually do, so please follow along. So first I'm going to start with a little brow brush and comb out my eyebrows. I also sometimes use a baby toothbrush. It's very soft on the eyebrows, and it's just very nice for putting them in place, setting them without any product. It's very, very soft because it's a baby toothbrush. I think that everyone should have one in their kit. I heard a rumor that Cher uses a toothbrush with a little bit of hairspray to set her eyebrows once she's finished filling them in, or whatever she does for her process. And I've done that on occasion, and it works very well if you want a limited amount of products with you or if you're traveling. But today I'm going to do what I do. I use an Anastasia kit, and you can buy it at Sephora, you can buy it at her boutique if you're in California, in LA. And it has fantastic products like it has a brow gel that's great. It has, what is this? A highlighter pen for under the brow. It has a cooling, brightening eye gel. And then you pick your hair color. And because my hair is dark, they have two different ones in each. So I believe they have a blonde, a medium brown, and then a dark brown, which is a darker brown, and a black. So you get two in each, and you can buy all these components separately, or you can buy the kit together. I recommend buying the kit. It also comes with this great double-ended brush, and it comes with probably the best pair of tweezers I've ever used. I also have other brushes that I use and other techniques, so I'm just going to show what I tend to do. So as you saw, I combed out my brows to see where they need to be filled in. Mind you, I've been waxing my eyebrows since I've been a teenager, and at this point my eyebrows are at a state where they don't fully grow in. It's just in certain areas underneath, a tiny bit on either side, and so I don't go for the full wax anymore. I just pluck it home every couple of weeks with a tweezer. Also, a great tip for women or men who have very thinning eyebrows is sometimes I'll use a little bleach. You can buy facial bleach in the store. It's very inexpensive. And just bleach the tiny hairs over here instead of plucking them. Because over time, when you sleep on your side, on your face, on your pillow, what happens is the tiny little hairs on the side rub away, and that's why you see a lot of women in their 50s and 60s that only have the top parts of their eyebrows, and then they have to fill in the sides. So it's your choice. It also depends on the thickness of your brows. I would say I have about a medium thickness, and I'm just going to start plucking. My brows, I've realized, are not symmetrical, as most people's body parts are not symmetrical. So I'm just going to pluck where I can and then fill in the rest and make it look like I have perfectly shaped eyebrows. So we're going to start with the tweezer. I'm just going to look in my mirror. So I'm going to turn it around to the magnifying side so I can really get a look. And I'm just going to pluck underneath. Let me put you into frame. and just get the couple of stray hairs. I'll mention that the Anastasia kit also comes with a brow template for people that want to reshape their brows, or you can actually hold the template up and just put the powder on your brush and just go over it. Many people use pencils, and then there are liquid pencils, which I haven't tried yet. I find that the crayon type pencil for an eye pencil, they're too dark and too intense for me, and I feel like I end up looking like Joan Crawford and Mommy Dearest, so I tend not to do that. So I'm just doing my eyebrows now, getting away the little hairs. And don't forget to also not only smooth it out, but smooth your brows up and then smooth your brows down, because there's hair on all sides, and that's how you create the perfect shape that you want. I also have this tool that I've used since I was a teenager, and men can use it too. It's a little stick with a small razor in it. And you get them, I think, in a pack of 3 for $1. You can get them at any drugstore. And it's great for just quick, on-the-go, shaping. As well as if you're someone that only has minimal eyebrow hair and really doesn't like the pain of waxing, or even the minimal pain of plucking, or not used to it. This is great for just kind of shaving a little bit off and shaving what you want. If you have a very full brow and you can't get down to the tiny little roots of the hair, this is great too. So I'm just combing mine over now so I can get the shape. I also have a pair of scissors, a small pair of scissors, in my eyebrow kit, because I do like to trim them, because the hairs tend to grow at different lengths because you pluck the hairs. Sometimes you'll get one stray long hair, and other times it's just, good to pluck. Okay. Let's look at my brow. This brow is a little more rounded than this one is. It has a higher arch. So I'm going to try to even it out as much as I can. I'm going to try to take away a little from under here, and we'll see how this works. I find that every time I do my brows, even at this point since I've been doing it for over 10 years, they still come out a little different every time, so don't feel like you're the odd one out if that's the case. And then a lot of women, a lot of my friends, get them professionally done because they don't want to do it at home. And I completely understand that. I just have had some very poor experiences at some very good salons, and with some eyebrow waxers, that I just, at this point, I just want to do it myself. I also don't like the feeling of having all of my eyebrow hair plucked out at once and walking around looking red, and so I find this much easier. I know that threading is very popular. I've never done it before, but if you'd like to comment and just tell me about your experiences about threading, I'd really like to know. Like I said, I'd be a little hesitant to do the threading because I like to do my own brows. So I think I just need to take a little more away at the bottom. I think this eyebrow is actually higher than this one. So let's see what we can do about creating an illusion. I know that I need to thin this out a little bit and kind of graduate the brow from larger to smaller. I hate to see these women with these big brows in the front and then these tiny pencil thin eyebrows on the side. That's just, it's terrible if someone's doing that to you. So I'm just plucking the remains of the little hairs. And remember, if you mess up, they will grow back. And not only that, you learn from your mistake, which believe me, I have. And you can always fill it in with makeup, which is the second part of this video and fantastic. Filling in my eyebrows completely changed the way I did my makeup. So I'm just gonna finish the plucking. What I'm doing is pushing my eyebrows up and making them look a little funny, just so that I can get underneath. So there were a few hairs that I missed. And as you see when you do this, you have hairs that are longer. So what I will eventually do is trim them with a scissor. Okay. Just finishing the other. Okay, so I'm going to smooth them out once again. And I'm pretty happy with what I have. So now I'm going to start trimming. So I'm going to push my eyebrow hair up till the arch, because the hair that goes down the side of your face to your lash line is very short, and I don't want to cut that. So I'm going to try to lift it up. And my brows are straight down in the front. Some people have rounded brows. It just depends on how you shape them and how you have to follow. It's a really good idea to follow the natural shape of your eyebrow. So I like to push it up with the brow brush. And this is not a special brow brush. It's just one that was straight and that I've curved. It's just easier. There's less range of motion in your hand if you do it this way. So I'm just going to trim them a little bit. Okay? That's perfect. That's just how I wanted it. And then we're going to push up this one. Now I'm right-handed and I tend to go from the arch into the nose. And so doing my left eye is a little more challenging for me to control. So I tend to do it a little slowly, a little more carefully on the left side. Okay. I'm going to get a tissue, just wipe away the little hairs. And so that's just with plucking and a little trimming. I also, a little trick that I use, I like to put Visine in my eyes. I know a lot of people do not like using eye drops, but I like to put it in my eyes if they're a little irritated or if I've been wearing heavy eye makeup or rubbing them a lot because I've been taking off makeup for days. It gets all the red out of your eyes, the irritation, it moisturizes it, and so I tend to do that before applying makeup as well as just when I want a clearer look in my eye. So I'm now going to go in with my little shaver, and the little hairs that I couldn't get on the side, I'm going to just shave down. And then I'm just going to go in a little bit underneath, so I'll do it over here so you can see it. A little bit underneath. So I can get those tiny little roots that weren't accessible from my tweezer. I'm just going to do the other side. This is really a fantastic tool. Oh, hi Eloise. And I feel that this is also great for men. I do not think anyone should take a shaving razor to their eyebrows no matter how bushy they are. It's just not safe. Okay. So we're done with that. And just going through my tools. I am going to, this is the finished grooming part. So if that's all you want to do and you don't feel like you want to fill in your eyebrows, you can stop there. I am going to be filling in my eyebrows and bringing them out and preparing them for eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do is take a little of the Anastasia Cooling Eye Brightener Illuminating Gel, and I wipe a bit of it off. And then you put it under the arch of your brow, over your brow bone. I'm going to do it to the other side. Okay, and that dries very nicely and quickly. You can even pat it in with clean hands if you like. And then over that, I don't always use all of these products, but I use the Anastasia Matte Highlighter Crayon in Camille. And then over that, I kind of draw underneath the brow. And it just highlights it. It gives it a more raised look. And you should definitely blend this in. Blend it with your finger, blend it with a small concealer brush, blend it with a Q-tip. But it's supposed to look natural and just look like you have a nice shine and illumination. So at this point I'm going to start filling in. And there are several brushes that you can use to fill in. There's this tapered, more broad brush. I also use this Chanel No. 5 brush that has a flat top sometimes when I'm in a rush because it goes over a broad space in a very short amount of time. This is a thinner broad brush. This is the brush that came with the Anastasia kit. It has a very angled small top, as well as a MAC 266 brush. So you can choose what you like, and then I also have a MAC 14 Chanel 14, which I sometimes use. As long as you're using an angled, smaller brush, it should be fine. I'm going to use my larger angled brush today. Now, you can use any color eyeshadow as long as it matches up to your eyebrows. You don't have to go out and buy a special eyebrow palette. The one that I have is called Brunette Dark Brown, since I have dark brown hair. I tend to use the lighter color, and I like to push my brush into it and blow off the excess and just gradually build up the color. And just, if you're going natural, follow the arch of your eyes, of your eyebrow. If you're trying to exaggerate, then create whatever shape you would like gradually. You don't want it to look like you have, grease paint on your face. You want it to look like it's just a naturally beautiful full brow. Okay, so that's finished. And you can see the difference between this eyebrow and this eyebrow. And it makes a huge difference when you're wearing makeup, especially when you're wearing dramatic makeup. Because the brows really frame your face. They open up your eyes. And let's see. See, my eyebrows are two different shapes. So I'm going to try to counteract that. I filled this one in a little too much, so great thing is to take your brow brush again and just kind of comb through. That one's a little broken. Comb through and kind of loosen up the pigment that you've put in place. You can also go over it with a tissue and kind of wipe a little bit of it off and start again. I think my issue here is I have to cut downwards. So let me get my brush, and I'm just going to cut a little bit downwards. I believe that my left eyebrow is a little thicker. So I'm just going to cut it, and please do this very, very carefully. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just start filling it back in. Okay, so I think I've done a pretty good job. If you find that it's a little too dark, what I do is, this is my Chanel Powder Universal Compact in Translucent 1, and I take a small fan brush. I just lightly wipe the powder onto the brush, getting a little bit in, and then I just lightly coat my brows. And it's a more subtle look. It's not as in your face. And then the final thing is to set your brows. You can do it with a brow gel, and you can do it with some hairspray and a toothbrush, like I said. You can also do it with a wax crayon. I find with the wax crayon it's great. It doesn't feel heavy, but I find that my eyebrows do move more. So I'm going to use the Anastasia clear brow gel. And I know you don't have to spend a lot of money on this. I know that there are several drugstore companies that make clear mascara, which you can use as brow gel. So I'm just going to use the brush and shape it how I want, and it eventually dries very quickly into the shape that you want your brows to be. And there it is. You can alternatively put some white eyeliner or white eye pencil, eyeshadow underneath it, and it lifts it a little more. It lifts your brow bone a little more. But I hope that was helpful, and please enjoy my other videos. Thank you. Bye.